The world watches with bated breath as the tension escalates to unprecedented levels. Putin has raised the stakes, making bold and alarming declarations. He threatens to unleash nuclear fury, a threat that sends shockwaves across the globe. No longer is it just rhetoric. The danger feels more real than ever. The Russian bear is baring its teeth, showcasing its military might. His targets, any nation that supports Ukraine, making the geopolitical landscape even more perilous. This includes all NATO members. The threat is clear. The message is chilling, reverberating through the halls of power. Global peace hangs by a thread more fragile than ever before. Putin's words send shivers down spines, leaving the world in a state of anxiety. The use of nuclear weapons is no longer unthinkable, a grim reality we must now face. It is a terrifying possibility, one that could lead to unimaginable devastation. The world is on edge, teetering on the brink of a potential catastrophe. The consequences of such an action are too grave to comprehend, painting a bleak picture of the future. The very existence of humanity is at stake, a sobering thought that weighs heavily on us all. This is not the first time Putin has brandished his nuclear arsenal, but the current climate makes it feel more ominous. But this time feels different. The escalation is palpable, the stakes higher than ever. The world holds its breath, waiting for the next move in this dangerous game. Will he cross the line? The question lingers, haunting our collective consciousness. The answer, unfortunately, remains shrouded in uncertainty, leaving us in a state of perpetual unease. The situation is incredibly volatile, with the potential for sudden and drastic changes. One wrong move could be disastrous, setting off a chain reaction of catastrophic events. The world waits, prays, and hopes for a peaceful resolution, clinging to the hope that diplomacy will prevail. But the shadow of nuclear war looms large, casting a dark pall over our hopes and dreams. It is a stark reminder of the fragility of peace, a peace that must be fiercely protected and cherished. The United States made a fateful decision, one that would reverberate across the globe. They approved the use of ATACMS missiles by Ukraine. These are long-range weapons capable of reaching targets far beyond the front lines. These missiles can strike deep inside Russian territory, altering the dynamics of the battlefield significantly. This decision marked a turning point in the conflict, a moment that would change the course of the war. It changed the rules of the game. Ukraine wasted no time in utilizing this new capability. They launched ATACMS missiles at Kursk, a strategic target. Kursk is a Russian city near the Ukrainian border, making it a significant location for such an attack. The attack sent shockwaves through Russia, causing widespread alarm and outrage. It was a bold move by Ukraine, demonstrating their resolve and capability. But it was a risky one. Russia reacted with fury. They condemned the attack, vowing to retaliate with force. The situation escalated rapidly, with tensions soaring to new heights. Military forces on both sides were put on high alert, preparing for the worst. The world watched with growing alarm as the conflict threatened to spill over into a broader war. The use of ATACMS missiles marked a dangerous escalation, one that could have far-reaching consequences. It showed the world that the conflict could easily spiral out of control with devastating effects. It was a stark reminder of the high stakes involved and the potential for catastrophic consequences. The world held its breath, hoping for a resolution but fearing the worst. Russia unveiled a new weapon, a terrifying missile called the Oreshnik, also known as KED. Putin boasted about its capabilities. He claimed it has near-nuclear impact. 6 warheads packed into one deadly package, a nightmare for any target. This new missile travels at incredible speed. It has a short flight time of just 15 minutes. This makes it very difficult to intercept, a true challenge for any defense system, a game-changer in modern warfare. However, doubts linger. Experts are skeptical about Russia's claims. Can they really mass-produce this advanced weapon? Only time will tell, but the threat is real. The Oreshnik KED missile is a reminder of Russia's military might. It is a powerful symbol of their determination. They are not backing down, they are prepared to escalate. Section 4 Donetsk. A grim picture of Russian advance. The fighting in eastern Ukraine rages on. Russian forces are gaining ground. They have made significant advances in Donetsk. The situation is grim. Ukrainian troops are facing a relentless onslaught. Since September 2024, Russia has captured over 1,000 square kilometers in Donetsk. Their advance has accelerated. They are now moving at a faster pace than ever before. Ukrainian defenses are struggling to hold. The human cost of the conflict is staggering. Thousands have been killed. Millions have been displaced. Cities and towns lie in ruins. The scars of war run deep. The situation in Donetsk is a tragedy. It is a testament to the brutality of war and the urgent need for peace. Section 5, Europe's arms race, a scramble to keep up. The war in Ukraine has been a wake-up call for Europe. They have realized the need to strengthen their defenses. European nations are now scrambling to increase weapons production. The goal is to deter further aggression from Russia. However, there are challenges. Europe's defense industry has been lagging behind. They are struggling to match Russia's output of artillery and other key weapons. The gap is significant. Despite the challenges, there has been some progress. Government subsidies have helped to boost production, but more needs to be done. Europe needs to close the gap quickly. The stakes are high. Europe's security is at risk. They must be prepared to defend themselves. The time for complacency is over. Section 6, political tremors. Uncertainty grips the West. Political instability is adding to the uncertainty. France and Germany, two of Europe's most powerful nations, have seen their governments collapse. This has created a leadership vacuum at a critical time. In the United States, a new presidential election looms. The outcome could have significant implications for Ukraine. A new president could mean a change in policy. Support for Ukraine is not guaranteed. These political uncertainties are causing anxiety. Will Europe remain united in its support for Ukraine? Will the United States continue to provide aid? These are crucial questions. The answers will shape the future of the conflict and the fate of Ukraine. Section 7, the unseen war. Sabotage and subversion in the shadows. Beyond the battlefields, another war is being waged. A shadow war that is as insidious as it is invisible. Russia is engaging in sabotage and subversion, employing tactics that are both sophisticated and ruthless. They are targeting countries that support Ukraine, aiming to destabilize and weaken their resolve. Their aim is to sow chaos and division. The tactics are varied and multifaceted. Explosives, cyber attacks, and even weaponized illegal immigration are being used to create instability and fear. The targets are carefully chosen. Transportation, government institutions, critical infrastructure, and key industries are all in the crosshairs, each selected to maximize disruption and impact. The objectives of this shadow war are clear and calculated. Russia wants to influence public opinion, manipulating narratives to their advantage. They want to coerce governments into abandoning their support for Ukraine using pressure and propaganda. They want to create divisions within NATO, exploiting any cracks in the alliance. Ultimately, they want to undermine Western democracies, eroding trust in institutions and leaders. The West has been slow to respond to this threat, often caught off guard by the unconventional tactics. The focus has been on defensive measures, trying to shield against the onslaught. But a more robust offensive strategy is needed, one that can counteract and neutralize these threats. The time has come to take the fight to Russia, to confront and dismantle their shadow operations.